Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey Bert, how are you? Hey Adriana, hey Shelly, hey everybody. Hey Facebook, hey Periscope, hey Kimbe, how are you, love? Instagram is still checking the connection. So hey Facebook and Periscope for now. Good evening, welcome to 30 Days of Thanks Live with Trueheart Speaks. I am Detra Trueheart, your life purpose generator, purpose provoker, and I speak life mentor, helping you get out of your own way and get to the business of living so that you can do life well. And the way we do that is helping you to get unstuck so that you can get started. So good evening, everybody. It is 10:06 here on the East Coast. I'm good. Today was a pretty good day for me, so I am absolutely good. Good evening, everybody. So let me pull this out here, and it's having issues here with my live. I'm not sure why. So if we can't go live on Instagram, then we'll just make it work. But hey, everybody, how are you? Hey, Aminata, how are you, love? So let me just make sure. So those of you who are here, if you can double tap the screen, if you can share. So if you want to swipe right on the iPhone and up on the Android, you want to share on Periscope. Those of you who are on Facebook, if you want to share as well. I am sharing myself just to make sure that we are good. How was everybody's day? We are on day 13 of the 30 Days of Thanks. Hey, Jill, how are you, love? I'm going to try this again and see if it lets me go live. Instagram is giving me some issues here, but if not, then we'll make it work. Busy but productive. Love it. Good. I'm excited to be able to hear your 30-day progress report, Shelly, just to see how things are going. Hey, Maddie, how are you? So let me share. I'm like talking to y'all. And so again, we're on day 13 of 30 Days of Thanks, counting down to get home. Yeah, so when are you going home? Are you away, or are you going home to Jamaica? That's what I need to ask. All right, so let me pull this up and make sure that we're good. Okay, so I'm good here. Hey, Nikita, how are you, love? Oh, get off work. I know that's right. That's so funny. You're like, I'm trying to get out of here and go home. I know that's, what time do you get off? 10 or 11? Probably 11, right? All right, so let's share here. Hey, Chantrice, how are you, love? So I'm just sharing right now, you all, as you all are coming in. I'm hoping I can go live on Instagram. If not, we'll just be on Periscope and Instagram. It seems to be giving me some issues, and I'm not sure why. 11:30. Ooh, yeah. That's yeah. I will be counting down the minutes and the hours myself. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on with Instagram, but we're gonna keep this party going. It might be Instagram. It could be my phone. I'm not sure. But I'm just sharing right now, and then we'll get going. I'm not going to keep y'all too late tonight, as I always promise. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so it's fine. That is the, the challenge with technology is that it doesn't always work when you want it to work. Hello, Joy. How are you? All right. So I think I've shared to just about everybody that I needed to share to. Let me just double check and see. I did. Thank you for sharing, Aminata. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Deandra. Hey, everybody. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So for those of you, if this is your first time joining, we are reading from my book, 30 Days of Thanks, 30 Daily Devotions for Cultivating an Attitude of Gratitude. And we are on day 13. And so if you have the book, then you had an opportunity to read day 11 and day 12 over the weekend. If not, hello there. If not, definitely you want to get the book and you want to take some time to read the book. You want to get some time to take some time to go through it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in November. So this is a book that I wrote probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I initially gave it away as a free e-devotional. And last year I was kind of given the go ahead, and not really, I don't even know if I want to call it the go ahead, but I was basically given the assignment to create a book. And it's funny because the people who had been reading the devotional had been saying, like, you need to make this in a book. Like, it would be great if I could just hold this, if I could have these all together and I could go back and I could refer to them, as opposed to going back into my email and reading them or printing them out or whatever the case may be. And so this is the result of me creating it into a book. And I also have, if you see back there, I have a book and I have an accompanying devotional journal that goes along with it, where for each devotional and each journal assignment you can write. And so I am excited that there are so many of you who have the book, who have read the book and are reading the book again, and who are joining me again for the second installment of 30 Days of Thanks Live. And it's interesting that this book has really been a blessing to a lot of different people. I ran into somebody at my church on Sunday, and she says, I have your book and I'm really enjoying it. It has really been a blessing to me. And so for me, the fact that my obedience, sometimes God will give you something to do and you're like, nah, I'm not sure about that. Or you just don't do it. I'm glad that my obedience has allowed me to be able to be a vessel to bless people through my writing. And so, at any rate, let's get reading, because I don't want to keep you tonight. And so we're on day 13, and we're being thankful for touching and feeling, right? Touching and feeling. And so for those of you, if you don't know, you can order the book at trueheartspeaks.com/30 Days of Thanks. And you can also order the book on Amazon. So, depending on, however you decide you want to get it, you can order it on it. Okay, just checking. All right, so I'm on the page and I want to make sure that the comments are coming in on both sides so that I can hear. So if something sounds good to you, obviously you can hit like, love, you can double tap the screen on Periscope. I'm still trying to go live on Instagram and I can't, and so that's fine. But we'll start reading. So, to touch is to experience, but to feel is to live. And that's by Lauren Klein. As you know, at the beginning of every day, there is a quote. And so that was today's quote. To touch is to experience, to feel is to live. And so I absolutely love that. So it says, as I stated yesterday, over the next few days, we will be giving thanks for different areas of the body that we sometimes forget how different our lives could be if we didn't have them. And so for those of you who... Hey Sharon, who read days 11 and 12. Day 11 was giving thanks for sight and vision, and day 12 was giving thanks for a mouth and the ability to speak, and they both were really, really, really good. And so this one says, but we also don't realize how different our lives could be if we use them effectively. Therefore, on the 13th day of thanks, we want to thank God for giving us the ability to touch and feel. In preparation for today's message, I noticed that I started paying attention to the things I was touching. In my mind, I was examining how it felt and comparing it to similar items. Now, you may be thinking, where in the world did this come from? But if you think about it, people who are blind use the sense of touch so much more than we do. Not most, if not all the time, we rely on sight to get us around, but those who are blind rely on feeling and hearing each and every day. Therefore, their sense of touching and feeling is so much more heightened than those of us who have our sight. Dictionary.reference.com's definition of touch is to put the hand, finger, etc. on or into contact with something to feel it. To come in contact with or perceive something as the hand or the light does. To bring the hand, finger, or etc. or something held in contact with something. To come in contact or be in contact with something, or that sense by which anything material is perceived by means of physical contact. So just think about all of the things you come in contact with on a daily basis that you pay no attention to. Think about your bed sheets, the various fabrics of clothes you wear, your car, your phone, your socks, your shoes, food you hold in your hands, the cup you drink from, utensils you cook with, furniture, books you read, sweaters you wear, the table you eat at, the chair you sit in, or the keyboard you type on. Or what about your skin, or that of someone you know? How does it feel? Is it soft, or is it rough or coarse? What about your pet if you have one? What do they really feel like when you touch them? How would your life be different if you couldn't touch any of those items? Would it even matter? Would you notice? What would be different? And so let me pause right there for a quick second. A lot of times, and it was interesting even as I'm reading this now, but when I wrote this and as I've read it numerous times, it's very interesting when I come to this day, because afterwards I'm so much more conscious of the things that I touch. And so even if you see my hands doing like this, like I just put lotion on my hands, and so I'm feeling the texture of my hands and how soft it feels, and like just feeling my hair and feeling my skin and my clothes. Like we like to be able to have a sense of touch. Like I know, like sometimes people get sick, and sometimes what ends up happening is there is a numbness in the fingers or in the hands or in their body, and so they can't feel and touch things in a way that they used to be able to. And so for many of us, we take that kind of stuff for granted. We take that kind of stuff as if like, oh, it's just an automatic. And so for on today, to be able to say, Lord, I thank you that I can touch. I thank you, and not only that I can touch, but that I can feel. Because it's one thing for me to touch you, but it's another thing for me to feel you, to be able to feel the textures and the different types of textures, right? And so for us, let us not forget. Hi, Shani. Is that Shani or Shani? I'm not sure. But I'm going to call you Shani, because I want to say it's Shani. I didn't see you pop in there, love. I'm looking at just all of the people who popped in on Facebook. And so just for us to think about that. And so like, would it matter? Would you notice? What would be different if you couldn't not only touch, but if you couldn't feel? Like, just imagine if you could touch, but you couldn't feel. But what if you couldn't touch or feel? Just think about that for a minute. Like, meditate on that. Like, for real. Like, just think about it. Think about it. We take a lot of that stuff for granted. Now, for most of us, touching and feeling go hand in hand. Whatever you touch, you feel, or do you? Missy. You see Missy over there, y'all? Whatever you touch, you feel, or do you? Do you pay attention to the various textures you encounter? Do you appreciate, and are you grateful for every experience? Many times we're looking for gratification in other things, and sometimes it is those simple moments that matter the most. Just think of how your touch can be just what someone needed, whether it be a hug or a tap on the shoulder, a kiss, or even a high five. As human beings, we thrive on connection. Can you imagine what life would be like if you couldn't touch or be touched? What about if you couldn't feel? For those of you who are parents, what would life be like if you couldn't touch or hold your own children? Hey, Monique. Hey, Faye. Good evening. Like real talk. Like, I just, laid my son down to bed, and I get a chance to lay next to him, and I do nosies with him, and I just put my cheek to his cheek. And the other part is, hey, AZ, is, when we talk about touch, it's not just our hands. So like, you're able to feel with your nose, you're able to feel with your face. And so to be able to feel somebody's face up against yours. Hey, Moni, how are you, love? And so think about that, and think about like how we would be affected if we couldn't touch and if we couldn't feel. Hey, Candace, how are you, love? Good evening. I want you all to think about that. Like, it's real. And, I think we take that for granted, and specifically if you are a hugger like I am, to the fact that I can't, like, if I'm not able to touch or if I'm not able to connect. And so, like, I'm taken back to the message that I shared for the workshop I did for the Just Live conference back on October, what day was it? I think it was like October 28th. And one of the things I talked about, or the message that I came from, was the woman with the issue of blood. And so if you know anything about that story, you know that she basically was considered cursed. She was considered an outcast. She was considered unclean. And so she was not supposed to be touching anybody. She could not have connection with anybody. And so this was normal for a woman's normal cycle, right? Monthly cycle, menstrual cycle. And so, you know, for 7 days, you know, she couldn't be around anyone. And then for another, I think 7 days, she had to clean herself. I can't remember if it was 7 days, but I think maybe another day or so after that, she had to clean herself, and then she could be around society. But if you imagine, for this woman, she was hemorrhaging and she was bleeding for 12 years. Can you imagine not connecting with anybody for 12 years, not touching anybody for 12 years, not hugging anybody for 12 years, not shaking hands with anybody for, I mean, can you imagine that? When we talk about touching and feeling, just the simple amenities and the simple things that we have the opportunity to experience, can you imagine not being able to connect with people and touch and shake hands and hug, you know, all of that kind of stuff for 12 years? I can't imagine that, especially for me. Like, when I see you, I want to hug you. And so to be in a space for 12 years that I couldn't hug you, that I couldn't be in your space, that I'm not even supposed to be in, she wasn't even supposed to be in that area. I think that that's like, just, I don't know, like, it just does something to me to know that we're able to touch and we're able to connect, and that there's some people through health issues or whatever who can't do that anymore. So a moment ago, as I sat in front of my computer to take a break from typing, I had my hands cupped around my face, and I could feel the softness of my face. I could also feel the roughness of my fingers from not putting any lotion on from after doing dishes. I'm wondering what life will be like for me if I could not touch my face, but if I could touch my face, but I couldn't feel anything. Since I'm a warm and fuzzy type of person, I also wonder what it would be like not to be able to touch and hold my son and feel his soft little feet and really enjoy the feel of the fleece robe that I'm wearing. Shoot, how would life be if I was unable to touch or feel my husband? That wouldn't be good. And I have an LOL in there. I don't know about you who are married, but just imagine you're not able to touch or feel your significant other. Like, how would your life be different because of that? It says, yeah, I know I'm a little touchy-feely, but this isn't about me. It's about us. It is about you and I being thankful that we can touch and feel what we touch. We need to be thankful that God created us as simple yet complex beings. Simple in the fact that we have the ability to touch, but complex in that we can touch many things with the same hands and feel all types of textures. What a mighty God we serve. And so that is the devotional portion of it. And so what do you guys think? I can see, I don't know if my textures. What a mighty God we serve. Oh, there we go. I don't know if I can if I'm frozen or not. And it looks like I'm not. It looks like I'm good. It looks like people are joining. So what do you guys think about that? Before I go into the journal portion, like when you think about not being able to touch, what comes to mind? When you think about not being able to feel, like, what comes to mind for you? Let's talk for a little bit. How would you feel if you couldn't touch? How would you feel if you could touch but you couldn't feel? What would that be like for you? Good evening to everybody who's just joining in on Facebook and Periscope. Welcome to 30 Days of Thanks Live with Detra Trueheart. Those of you who might be watching on the replay, you can most assuredly give hearts and you can most assuredly give comments. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the journal assignment. Y'all are quiet tonight. It says, okay, so I don't want you to overlook this. Take the day and pay attention to everything you touch. And then at the end of your day, if you can't write throughout the day, write down what you feel and how it feels. Take some time to just touch things. Now, don't get carried away and get smacked touching somebody or something that doesn't belong to you. I know my sense of humor is crazy, but you get the point. Trust that when you start paying attention to what you touch and how it feels, you'll start to have an even greater appreciation for the world around you and the people in it. As you may notice, this wasn't a deep message, nor was it complex. Sometimes life is just that simple. So take it for what it is and embrace every part of it. It says that has to be depressing. I'm a touchy-feely person as well. I love hugs. Yeah, me too. I use my hands to craft and bake, both to relieve stress. I wouldn't know what to do. And so I think for you, Candace, right, it definitely says I would feel deprived. Priceless, simple gift, right? And so I think, you know, for those of you, like for Candace, who bakes and does crafts, like that's huge, right? To not be able to touch what you're doing. Like there is a sense of, life's deprived life simple gift. Yes. And so I think, you know, we would feel deprived of life's simple gift, right? Of just, and it's so simple, but at the end of the day, like it's so major when you think about, like, if you are a touchy-feely person, if you are somebody who does things with your hands, if you're somebody who creates, if somebody who bakes, somebody who molds, and you know, you your gift is your hands, and not to be able to touch and feel and that sort of thing. Like if all of a sudden I wasn't able to touch, I would feel like I'm living life with less meaning. I show my love touching, hugging, interacting. Me too. Like I totally can't, like it just, it gives you a different perspective of, you know, just that it's a gift, right? You know, and I don't know, like I think that, you know, we want to be in a space where we can be appreciative and we can honor that gift of touch and feel and not abuse it, right? But to be in a space where it's, you know, it's a privilege to be able to have those senses and to be able to touch and feel and hug and all that kind of stuff. So here's our prayer for today. Lord, we want to take a moment today to thank you for the simple things in life. We want to say thank you for the ability to touch and to feel. Excuse me. We are grateful that you created us in such a complex way that we can also enjoy simple things in life. We are thankful for the experience of touching and feeling in a new way. We are thankful that in addition to the ability to see, we will begin to treasure our ability to touch and feel. Lord, thank you for the experience of touching and the sensation of feeling. Only you could have created something so profound yet so simple and said it is good. Just like the woman in the Bible with the issue of blood, who was immediately healed from touching the hem of Jesus' garment, let us be fulfilled with satisfaction, healing, gratification, peace, and enjoyment from the gifts of touch and feeling. Again, we say thank you. Amen. So for those of you who don't have the book, I'll read the journal assignment again because I want you to be able to take some time and I want you to be able to go in and, you know, and write and reflect on today's day of thanks. In the mornings, Nikita saying, in the mornings, I've been doing thankful check-ins with the kids when we all tell what we're thankful for. I've been dealing with painful back issues for 2 weeks. And today I shared, I'm thankful for the ability to feel discomfort. I know there are people that can't feel anything. # confirmation. How juicy is that, right? Hey, Robin, how are you, sis? And so we literally just finished. And so we're just talking right now, and we're talking today about the day of thanks. It's being thankful for touching and feeling. And so how awesome is that, right? That you can actually feel the discomfort. Like, you know, sometimes we'll say, oh, you know, like this pain is a lot and it's, you know, too much or whatever the case may be. But the fact that you can feel, right, means a whole lot. Because it could be at some point where you can't feel, and that's at that point it's like, okay, so we know something's definitely wrong if I can't feel, right? So let me go back to the journal assignment. And for those of you who don't have the journal or the book, and you can at least go through this journal assignment, and I do that for all of them. I try to read the journal assignment a couple times so that you can go back and rewind and listen and that sort of thing. So it says, okay, so I don't want you to overlook this. Take the day and pay attention to everything you touch, and then at the end of the day, if you can't write throughout the day, write down what you feel and how it feels. Take some time to just touch things. Now, don't get carried away and get smacked touching someone or something that doesn't belong to you. I know my sense of humor is crazy, but you get the point. Trust that when you start paying attention to what you touch and how it feels, you will start to have an even greater appreciation for the world around you and the people in it. As you may notice, this wasn't a deep message, nor was it complex. Sometimes life is just that simple. So take it for what it is and embrace every part of it. So basically, I really want you to spend some time today and even tomorrow Paying attention to what you touch. Pay attention to how it feels. Pay attention to if you ever noticed how it feels. Like when you put your coat on, when you put your socks on, you put your underwear on. For women, you put your bra on. Like the texture of it. How does it feel, right? If you hug somebody, whatever it is, even like when you're like different textures of food, you know what I'm saying? And so to be in a space, and I think, so tomorrow I was going to say texture. So tomorrow, day 14, we talk about taste and smell. And so we'll have an opportunity to talk a little bit more about that. But even when you talk about like the actual the textures in your mouth, to be able to taste that and feel it, right? Not only to taste it, but you can feel it. Like when I think about just like the sensations of our body. So for us to be able to feel in different areas of our body, right? So not just to be able to feel and touch with our hands, but to be able to feel in our mouths, right? You can, with your tongue, you can, like for me, I can feel the roof, right, of my mouth. I can feel my teeth with my tongue. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I can feel my ears. My ears can feel my hands touching my body. Like that to me is amazing. And for us, I'm not sure if you've ever taken time to give thanks for touching and feeling, but I really want y'all to really think about like everything that you touch and everything that you feel, and I want you to just like rest in that. I want you to rest in that, and I want you to enjoy it, and I really want you to tell God thank you. Like, Lord, I'm thankful that I can feel this. I'm thankful that I can touch this. Even the discomfort, maybe I'm having back issues, but Lord, I'm thankful that I can still feel it, and I believe you're going to heal me, but in the midst of it, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful. So that was today's day of thanks, y'all. And so what did y'all think? Those of you who haven't read it or you don't have the book, what did you think about today's day of thanks? I see lots of hearts. Makes me think of holding my granny's hand. Yep. Like those moments, right? Hugging, kissing, you know what I mean? Just feeling the textures, the richness. Hey, Keita, how are you, love? Absolutely. Absolutely. So those of you who are just joining, we're just closing out. So I want you to go back, check out the replay. And then those of you who are live, make sure you share. I totally don't want, I try not to keep you guys up late at night. Obviously, if the conversation gets juicy, then we have conversation and that sort of thing. But I really want to honor your time. And I want to, just honor the book and kind of stay on topic with the book. It says, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Good. And so, again, if you guys have yet to get the book, you can order the book on Amazon. I did order. I'm just about sold out of all of my books. I am sold out. It was awesome. Makes me think to pay more attention to each touch and feel. Yeah, absolutely. Right. We just have to be a lot more cognizant. Loved it. Makes me think of how different my life would be as an artist. Oh, yeah, because you make tons of stuff. Good word, giving me a reason to pause and touch. Absolutely. Yeah, you make stuff. Like, you do a lot of that, right? Connect more. This was good. Absolutely. Right? And sometimes it's even just connecting more with ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, just, like really just enjoying like the sensation of touch for our bodies and all that kind of stuff. Right? And you think about like a massage therapist. Like, just imagine getting a massage and not feeling it. Imagine getting a facial and not feeling it. Imagine washing your face and not feeling it. Imagine washing your body and not feeling it. Like, you're touching, but you can't feel. Like, it's just, it's good. Like, it's so good. And it's just like, wow, Lord, like, thank you. I thank you. Like, simple things like that. Like, for a lot of times we feel like giving thanks is like, Lord, I thank you. I don't know. Like, we try to figure out like all of this like major, like huge stuff that's going on. And some of that, and I won't even say some of it, all of it I think is important, but I think we don't want to forget the things. So those of you who have missed, what we've been talking about. So we started out on day 1. And so I'm here every Monday through Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope. And Instagram wanted to act up on me today, so we're just on Periscope and Facebook, which is fine. And I think we started out on Tuesday the 31st because I did an introduction. And so just to give you a recap, we talked about day 1 was being thankful for what didn't happen. And it really is the idea that it could be worse, right? And so the situation may not be the best, but it could be worse than what it is. Day 2 was giving thanks for your current situation. So again, you may not be where you want to be, but you got to be thankful for where you are. Day 3 was giving thanks for life, right? We're just thankful that we have life, that we're alive, that God has blessed us. Day 4 and 5, I'm not on over the weekends, but day 4 and 5 was 4 was giving thanks for family, 5 was giving thanks for basic necessities. We were back on day 6 with health. Day 7 was being thankful that it happened, no matter what your it is, and that was a really good one. Day 8 was being thankful for a sound mind. Day 9 was being thankful for provision. Day 10 was being thankful for gifts and talents, and we were off for day 11 and 12, and that was being thankful for sight and vision, and those were really good readings. So if you got the book, I know you had a chance to read that, and you probably were like, ooh, this is good. Day 12 was a mouth and the ability to speak. I read that last night, and that was really good. And today we're on being thankful for touching and feeling. And so tomorrow we'll pick up with taste and smell. And so on every Friday, I'm on at 12 noon. 12 noon. And so Monday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Fridays at 12 noon. So you all have a good night. It is 10:36. I'm totally not going to keep y'all. And I just want to thank y'all for joining me. But I really want you. And here's the thing. As we're going over these, thank you so much for the hearts. As we're going over these, I want you to be in the mind of, even though we're like going, into a new one, I still want you to be reflective about the ones that we've already done. And so it really is kind of like an accumulative building of thanks, right? And so it's not like, okay, well, yesterday we did that and we forget about it. But, while I'm still being thankful for having a mouth and the ability to speak, I'm now also thankful for touching and feeling. And so while I'm still thankful for touching and feeling, tomorrow I'll be even more thankful, because now I'm thankful for tasting and smelling, right? Today was touching and feeling. Tomorrow was tasting and smelling, right? So at any rate, I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. You're welcome, love. I do appreciate, y'all joining me tonight, because y'all could be in the bed, because I could be in the bed, right? And so I just enjoy y'all, sharing and letting folks know that we're here. And I so appreciate you all buying my book. And those of you, if you have the book and you've read the book, I would love if you could go to Amazon and if you could give me a review. I have my first review by TC, and I'm not sure if she's on, but she joins us, and so TC White, and I just want to personally say thank you live for being the very first person who gave me a review on Amazon. I really appreciate you. And so those of you, if you could do that, just go to Amazon, look at the book, and down it below, it's like if you have the book, write a review. And so if you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I really would just like jump up and down if you could do that. And so at any rate, I love y'all. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow night. Oh, and if you missed this morning's Life Scope, so I'm here every Monday morning. Go back into the page, check that out too, because we talked about doing something different now, not tomorrow. We've talked about doing something different. You know that that's something I've talked about a lot. But for me today, the message was not about just doing something different. This morning was about doing something different now. And we're not going to wait until 2018. We're not going to wait until December 1st. We're not going to wait until November 15th. Like, okay, I'm going to wait till the half of the month, so at least I know I got a full half to no. Start today, whatever it is that you have to do. And so, good night, love. And so if you have an opportunity, check that out from this morning. And then obviously, if you haven't checked out any of the other ones in between your off time or your quiet time or whatever, you can go and check out the other days of thanks. They are actually on my YouTube page as well, so you can subscribe to my YouTube page if you're not on Facebook. But they're also on Facebook as well. So I love y'all. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow night. Bye.